Exposed, how one woman transformed after being called ugly by her millionaire fiancé in public. The whispers echoed through the grand hall like a crashing wave. Did you hear? Jenna, the sweet waitress, was called ugly by her own fiancé. The revelry of the charity gala turned cold, sharp as shards of glass. Jenna stood frozen, the glittering lights casting a mockery of beauty on her reddening face. She felt the weight of the world crashing down as Ethan's words hung heavy in the air, shattering her dreams and self-worth in an instant. The glamorous setting, a sea of designer gowns and tailored suits, felt suffocating. Yet, there she was, clutching her sparkling juice glass, feeling like a paper boat lost in a storm. One moment, they had been the perfect couple, chasing their dreams of love and success. The next, Ethan's frustration spilled over, and in a cruel twist of fate, her reality faded to gray. Days turned into weeks as the frenzy of media coverage painted her as a caricature, a stark contrast to the love she once knew. She could no longer endure the shame of being the butt of cruel headlines. Humiliation wrapped around her like a lead blanket, pushing her deeper into solitude. But then, in her darkest hour, light found a way to creep back in. Jenna's best friend, Lisa, became her guiding star, showing up with warm casseroles and even warmer hugs. "You're beautiful, Jenna." Inside and out, she insisted. Each word resonated like a melody in Jenna's heart, stirring her spirit to fight that it wasn't just Lisa. Mr. Thompson, the wise old neighbor with an endearing smile, shared his own tales of resilience. With every story, he pushed her to see beyond the harsh judgments, reminding her of all that makes a person truly beautiful: kindness, strength, and hope. Jenna felt a sliver of something awaken within, something worth fighting for. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As time passed, Jenna dove headfirst into a new routine, the one where she did yoga on the floor of her tiny apartment and ran laps in the local park. She began to shed not just the remnants of Ethan's words, but layers of doubt and insecurity. Each bead of sweat was a weight lifted, each smile a fresh rebirth. Slowly, she transformed into a radiant version of herself, someone who embraced every scar, both physical and emotional. The local fair brought a buzz of excitement through Oak Park. Colorful lights twinkled in the night, laughter floated through the air, and as Jenna walked into the scene, the calm sea of resilience inside her began to churn. This was her chance, a chance to reclaim her story. Standing on the makeshift stage, hearts racing, she felt the weight of everyone's eyes on her, expectant and curious. She found her voice, took a deep breath, and locked eyes with Ethan in the crowd. The air thickened with tension, memories flashing by like a movie reel. Would she be able to confront him? Could she forgive and find healing, or would his hurtful words linger like a ghost haunting her light? The community was alive, and still, Jenna stood there on the brink of it all, the pulse of her new reality thrumming beneath the surface. The crowd awaited her next words, but just as she opened her mouth, uncertainty clouded her resolve. Would she find the courage to truly embrace the strength she had discovered within? The answer seemed tantalizingly just out of reach. Jenna's heart raced as she stood alone on the stage, the colorful lights of the fair casting an ethereal glow around her. The laughter and chatter of the crowd faded into a low hum, sharpening her focus on Ethan's penetrating gaze. She felt the heat of his stare. It was a mixture of curiosity and regret, the boy she had loved still lingering beneath layers of hurt. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice slightly trembling but growing stronger with each word. "I was once someone who let others define me. A single comment turned my world upside down." The weight of her truth hung between them, and she could sense the collective intake of breath from the audience. She could feel Lisa's warm presence in the front row, a constant pillar of support. "But I realized that I am not what others say. Beauty isn't about looks, it's about how we carry ourselves, how we treat others. It's about the strength we nurture from within. Jenna paused, her eyes darting toward Ethan again. The old wounds flashed in her mind, the good memories overshadowed by the sting of his words. People can hurt us, but it's our choice how we respond. I chose to fight back. I chose to love myself just the way I am. The crowd murmured, and Jenna found courage in their encouragement, as if their energy pushed her forward. She felt the call of liberation. Each breath she took ignited a spark inside her, an unwavering resolve to reclaim not only her narrative but herself. It's okay to fall down, she added, smiling now, as long as you get back up. The world can be cruel, and it's easy to let those moments define us. But I refuse to be defined by pain. The light laughter and soft gasps from the audience thrummed like a pulse of support, filling her spirit. Ethan's expression shifted, and for a fleeting second, Jenna saw vulnerability etched across his features. It flickered like a candle in a gust, hinting at an unspoken apology and admission of regret for his past actions. But Jenna steeled herself against the swell of emotions it sparked within her. In the corners of her heart, the urge to forgive swirled with the necessity to protect her fragile growth. It's time for all of us to rise above negativity. We must celebrate our uniqueness. So, for anyone who's ever been judged or belittled, I stand here tonight with you. For a brief moment, Jenna lost herself in the night's electric energy. It felt bittersweet, and her heart leaned heavier towards hope. Would it be possible to fully forgive Ethan? To move forward without resentment? Or was reconciliation never meant to be? The questions danced in her mind as she stepped from the stage, feeling lighter, yet burdened by the complexity of her emotions. The crowd erupted into applause, and she felt the warmth of their acceptance wash over her like a soothing balm. Every clap was a reminder she had taken control of her life again, but the journey was far from over. As Jenna joined Lisa, her friend's beaming smile brought joy and relief. See? You did it. You stood up and spoke your heart. Yet in the midst of the celebration, a small flicker of doubt remained. Would Ethan allow her to truly move on? Would he try to win her back, or would he realize she was finally out of reach? Jenna knew she had to navigate the uncharted waters of forgiveness and self-discovery, and the thought both terrified and exhilarated her. In that moment, as laughter echoed around her, she couldn't help but wonder what lay ahead. Would the next step forward be as empowering as this one had been? Or would it force her to confront her past in ways she had never anticipated? With Ethan standing on the periphery of her life, Jenna knew that the real journey was just beginning. The energy of the fair pulsed around Jenna like a living thing, but beneath the surface, she felt a storm brewing. The applause faded as she wandered through the crowd, her heart still racing from her speech. Lisa stayed close, chattering excitedly about the impact Jenna had just made, but Jenna's thoughts drifted back to Ethan. His presence was a constant shadow. Did you see him? Lisa asked, her eyes sparkling with mischief. He looked like he was going to shrink right into the ground. Jenna managed a small laugh, but internally, she wrestled with a mix of exhilaration and uncertainty. Ethan's eyes had held so much regret, maybe. She could still feel their weight on her, a reminder of everything she had bravely stepped away from. Yeah, I saw him. It's something, Jenna replied, her voice trailing off. In her heart, emotions tangled under the surface, making her breath feel heavy. Lisa linked her arm through Jenna's, pulling her from her thoughts. Simon, let us celebrate. We deserve this night. Look, there's the Ferris wheel. Let's ride it. Awash in Lisa's enthusiasm, Jenna felt a flicker of joy. Maybe the thrill of the ride would distract her from the heaviness growing in her chest. The bright lights of the Ferris wheel beckoned, and she let herself be led, putting one foot in front of the other. Laughter erupted from the crowd as they boarded, the wheel slowly turning to lift them into the night sky. The view of the fair from above was stunning, the colorful lights a canvas of joy. For a moment, she lost herself in the magic of it all. Look at that. Isn't it amazing? Lisa exclaimed, pointing to a firework bursting in the distance. Jenna smiled, but even as she gazed at the ethereal view, her thoughts flickered back to Ethan. What if he reached out? Would she be strong enough to face him? The memories of past hurt mingled with the hope she had fought hard to cultivate. As the will turned higher, all she could think was that she wanted the view of her life to be different. I don't want to fall back into old patterns, Jenna whispered, almost to herself. I get that, seriously, Lisa replied, her tone shifting from playful to serious. But don't let fear of the past ruin your chance at happiness now. You've come so far, Jenna. Don't let him take that away from you. The words danced in the air, laden with truth. Jenna nodded, her heart pounding, adrenaline rushing through her. Lisa was right. She wouldn't let Ethan dictate her future any longer. As they reached the top, the world lay out beneath them, shimmering and vast. Jenna felt a sense of freedom, but it felt fragile, like a bubble ready to burst. I'm done being defined by someone else's opinion, Jenna finally declared, her voice firmer. No more. Just then, the Ferris wheel dipped, sending a thrill through her, but it also stirred something deeper. She needed to confront Ethan, not just to set boundaries but to understand if she could forgive him. Could she truly let go? Okay, when we get down, I'm going to talk to him, Jenna said, conviction flooding her voice. Lisa turned sharply. You're going to face him? Right after all of this? Yes. I need to, Jenna replied, determination blooming within her. She had embraced her truth, now she needed to embrace the final step. As the wheel began its descent, Jenna's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and dread. Was she ready for this? What would she say? The night was vibrant around her, yet her thoughts centered solely on the confrontation ahead. In that moment, a mix of hope and anxiety filled her. Would she find closure, or would the past claw at her again? The answer was just a conversation away. The Ferris wheel touched down, and Jenna's feet hit solid ground, but the tremors of uncertainty still churned in her stomach. Lisa squeezed her hand, sending a swell of support through her. You got this. Just be honest. Jenna nodded, mustering a smile, but her mind raced as they weaved through the crowd towards the gathering where Ethan stood. The fair buzzed with excitement, the laughter, the music, the delighted shrieks of children on rides. But all she could focus on was the figure in the distance, his presence heavy and palpable. As they approached, her heart hammered against her ribs. Was this really happening? Why did it feel like walking towards an oncoming storm? Ethan was laughing with a group of friends, but even from afar, the unmistakable tension radiated from him. He caught sight of Jenna, his laughter faltering as if he'd been struck. Hey, Jenna said, her voice suddenly feeling small against the backdrop of festival noises. The world around her faded. All she could see were Ethan's eyes, deep pools of confusion and regret. Jenna, he said, his voice barely above a whisper, an acknowledgement, but also a question. Can we talk? She didn't bother waiting for his answer as she turned away, leading the way to a quieter area, slightly hidden from the throng of the fair. Lisa took a step back, giving them space, but Jenna could feel her friend's presence lingering like a warm blanket in the distance. Ethan followed her, hands shoved deep in his pockets, his expression shifting from worried curiosity to guilt. There was a time when Jenna thought she could read him effortlessly, but now, each flicker of his eyes felt like a puzzle she struggled to piece together. Jenna, he started, but she cut him off. She had to take her stance before he spun another story. I don't want to hear excuses, Ethan. What happened between us? It hurt. It still does. Saying it out loud felt like letting air out of a balloon, releasing the pressure that had built over the years. I know, he murmured. I messed up, and I'm so sorry. You have no idea how much I regret how I treated you. His voice broke, the sincerity in his tone wrapping around her heart like an unexpected embrace. What were you thinking, Ethan? The fire in her chest ignited, like the fireworks from earlier, but it focused on him, demanding answers. You called me ugly in front of everyone. Do you even understand how that impacted me? I do now, he said, his voice firmer but soaked in regret. I was young and stupid. I let my ego get the best of me. It was wrong. I see that. Jenna inhaled sharply. Deep down, she wanted to believe him. But trust was a fragile thing, worn thin from past wounds. But that's the problem, she said, her voice trembling. I'm no longer the person you made me feel I was. I want to just forgive and forget because you say you're sorry. I don't expect you to, he replied, taking a cautious step closer. But I've changed. I've had to seeing you move on, seeing you grow. It's been hard to watch. You've become incredible, Jenna. A lump rose in her throat. She had fought for this moment, for closure, and yet here he was, looking vulnerable, and for a split second, she almost felt compassion, but then she recalled the tears she'd shed, the nights spent clawing through the dark to find light again. It took me a long time to realize my worth, she said, her voice steadying. And I won't lose that progress because of you. Ethan winced, an honest reaction that cracked through the surface of her defenses. What can I do? He asked, desperation creeping into his demeanor. How can I make this right? Let me be, Jenna said. Let me move forward without looking back. The weight of her words echoed in the silence, and as it dawned on her that she wasn't just speaking to him, she was asserting her own power. Jenna felt the ground beneath her shift. Still, there was a stubborn part of her that fluttered with uncertainty. Was she truly ready to walk away, and was this the final goodbye? Jenna, he started again, but she interrupted him one last time. This isn't about you anymore. With that, she turned to leave, feeling the tangle of emotions settle slightly. She still carried the hurt, but she also held tight to her newfound strength. As Jenna rejoined Lisa, the fair continued to dance around them, vibrant and alive. But in the back of her mind, the question lingered, had she truly closed that chapter, or was this the beginning of something new? Another round of laughter broke from the crowd, yet Jenna's heart beat in rhythm with her resolve. There was no turning back now. Whatever came next, she was ready to embrace it. And with each step, she felt a little bit lighter, but the heaviness of her history still loomed. Could it always coexist with this newfound freedom? The lights of the fair twinkled like stars, casting a glow on Jenna's face as she settled next to Lisa, trying to shake off the heaviness inside her. She could feel the adrenaline still pulsing through her veins. Are you okay? Lisa's voice cut through her thoughts, gentle but probing. Jenna offered a small smile, though it didn't reach her eyes. I'm not sure yet. I think I am, but it just feels complicated. The sounds of laughter and joy surrounded her, but Jenna felt like she was stuck in a bubble, separated from reality. The joy she saw in others was distant, as if she were watching from behind glass. What did he say? Lisa asked, leaning closer. There was an urgency in her demeanor, a mix of concern and curiosity. He is sorry, Jenna replied, the words tasting bittersweet. But does sorry fix everything? Does it really mean anything after what happened? She crossed her arms, a protective gesture against the chill in the air and the uncertainty gnawing at her. I don't know, but it sounds like he has had time to think about it. He might be genuine. Lisa searched her face, and Jenna could see her friend grappling with her own feelings about the situation. Genuine? Jenna laughed hollowly. He stood in front of everyone and tore me apart. How does that even come close to being genuine? They sat in silence, the hum of the fair wrapping around them. For a moment, Jenna watched families walk by, parents holding hands with their children, their faces illuminated with pure joy. A pang of longing hit her. What would it feel like to step into that happiness without the baggage of doubt and fear? I don't want to dwell on this. I need to let it go, Jenna declared, but her words felt flimsy. Lisa looked at her intently. Then do it. Focus on you. You're stronger now. You've built yourself up. He is not worth your energy if he can't respect that. The passion in Lisa's voice sparked something in Jenna. More than anything, she needed to believe it. You're right. I am stronger. I've come so far. I just need to. Jenna trailed off, eyes drifting back to where Ethan had been standing. He was still there, deep in conversation with friends, but Jenna felt a pang of confusion mixed with a flicker of hope. Was it truly possible for someone to change? Jenna? Lisa nudged her. You're not going to go back, are you? No, I won tea. Not like that. Jenna shook her head, albeit slightly uncertainly. I just need time to figure this all out. Just promise me you'll keep moving forward. Don't let him pull you back, Lisa replied, squeezing her hand reassuringly. As the evening wore on, Jenna knew there would be moments where the shadow of her past would dart into her thoughts, moments of doubt and uncertainty. But as she watched the fireworks explode in the sky, she felt a flicker of determination rise. With every burst, she imagined herself growing brighter, pushing against the darkness that once trapped her. But what if Ethan didn't let go? What if he decided to fight for her in ways she couldn't anticipate? Would she be able to withstand that pressure if he truly tried to change her mind? Her heart raced as those thoughts spiraled. She took a deep breath and stood tall. This was her life, she had control. Whatever was next, she would face with courage, ready to rewrite her story. As the last firework fizzled out, a sense of resolve swelled within her. The night wasn't over yet, but it felt like the beginning of a new chapter. She sensed she stood on the precipice of something greater. Yet, there remained a lingering question that teased at the edge of her mind: what would she do if the past came knocking again? The fairgrounds buzzed with energy, but Jenna felt like she was in a different realm entirely. The laughter and excitement danced around her like a strangely beautiful but mocking tune. Each burst of laughter only deepened the ache in her chest. Clutching Lisa's hand tighter, she sought reassurance, a lifeline amidst her swirling thoughts. Let us go on a ride, Lisa suggested, her voice attempting to punctuate Jenna's thoughts with lightness. The Ferris wheel? It's magical up there at night. Jenna hesitated. The idea of soaring high and feeling the cool breeze seemed freeing yet daunting. What if she left her worries behind only to have them crash back down at the end? But Lisa's hopeful gaze convinced her. Okay, let us do it. As they approached the towering wheel, Jenna steeled herself against the weight of her uncertainty. They climbed into one of the carriages, and as the wheel began to ascend, Jenna could see the fair beneath them, the carousel spinning, kids squealing in joy, couples wrapped up in each other's warmth. The view was stunning, yet all she could see was a version of herself looking in. Just look at everything, Jenna, Lisa said. Breathe it in. Jenna did just that, drawing in the scents of popcorn and cotton candy, letting the moment blanket her. As they reached the highest point, she took a deep breath and gazed out at the horizon. The lights of the fair sparkled like a land of dreams. Yet those dreams felt elusive. Why did this happen, Lisa? Why me? She finally managed, her voice trembling with vulnerability. You're not defined by what happened. It's not your fault. Sometimes it takes a harsh moment to wake us up to our strength, Lisa replied, her voice steady. You're finding yourself again. Jenna swallowed, tears threatening to spill. But what if I'm not who I thought I was? What if I can't be who I need to be? At that moment, the wheel began to descend. Jenna's stomach dropped with it, but then she felt an unusual sense of clarity. Ground was coming toward her, and she wasn't just being lowered, she was getting grounded. I can't change what he did. But I can change how I let it affect me, Jenna whispered, her heart pounding in rhythm with the wheel's movement. I'm not going to let it keep me from pursuing the joy I deserve. That's the spirit. Lisa cheered. And remember, you've got your own narrative now. You get to write it. When they finally reached the ground, Jenna stepped off the ride feeling lighter, empowered, and perhaps a little more optimistic. They moved through the crowds, Jenna's stride more assured. Just then, she felt a presence of familiar warmth prickling at her skin. Ethan stood across the path, his face a mask of uncertainty. Their eyes locked, and in that instant, Jenna felt something snap inside her. Whatever hope she had felt moments ago now twisted into a tight knot of anxiety. "Can we talk?" His voice was filled with an earnestness that she hadn't seen before, but it sent a wave of hesitation crashing over her. "What do you want to say?" Jenna heard herself respond, her own breath catching at the coldness in her tone. "Please, just give me one chance to explain." "I've changed, Jenna, I promise," he urged, stepping closer. Jenna held her breath, the world around them fading into a blur. She could hear the laughter of children, feel the thrill of the fair, yet his words sparked a new battle within her. Could he really be different? Was she ready to face whatever this was about? The night was darker, the stakes high. She stood at a crossroads, her heart racing in anticipation. "One chance, or are you just looking for forgiveness?" she asked, determination lacing her voice. As his expression shifted, Jenna felt the weight of the moment press down on her. Would she take that chance? And just like that, the question hung in the air, waiting for its answer. Jenna's heart pounded like a drum in her chest. The bright lights of the fair felt dimmer now, overshadowed by the storm brewing in her mind. Ethan's eyes gazed into hers, and within them, she saw a flicker of desperation. "Jenna, please," he began, a tremble in his voice. "I know I messed up. I was scared. You scared me too," she shot back, anger bubbling up, feeling vindicated. "You left me feeling like I wasn't worth standing up for. Not once, but twice. You cut me down in front of everyone, Ethan. Do you get how that feels?" The words hung between them like static, crackling with tension. People drifted past them, blissfully unaware of the emotional battlefield unfolding in a corner of the fair. Tears lingered in Jenna's eyes, but she blinked them back. "I'd give anything to take that back," he pleaded, his voice tightening. "I was caught up in my own world. I didn't mean to hurt you. I really thought you'd always be there." Jenna felt a rush of conflicting emotions. Did Ethan truly regret his actions, or was he simply afraid of losing her? Was their connection as deep as he claimed, or had it been superficial all along? "Do you even know who I am anymore?" she whispered, her breath shaking. "Ever since that night, I've been trying to pick up the pieces of my life. The way you dismissed me, it shattered more than just my confidence. I was so lost." His expression morphed, something like understanding washing over his face. "Then let me help you find yourself again. I'm different now, Jenna. I promise I've realized what I lost." "Maybe it's too late," she replied, the words tasting bitter on her tongue. "You can't just waltz back in and expect me to forget." "I wouldn't ask you to forgive me easily," he stated, stepping closer, his voice low. "But I want to show you. I want to prove I've changed. I've been working on myself. Please just let me try." In that moment, as the world around them faded, she felt a swell of emotion push against her walls. Leaning into the moment, she felt raw and vulnerable. "And how do I know this isn't another empty promise?" He reached into his pocket, pulling out a small card. "Take this, it's my number. If you want to talk, just call. No pressure. Just, if you'll let me, I want a chance to earn back your trust." Jenna stared at the card, seeing her own reflection in the glossy surface. It felt like a lifeline tossed into stormy waters, but was she ready to grasp it? In her heart, the answer was tangled with hope and fear. Could she bear to let him back in? Or would it leave her picking up pieces once again? The laughter from the fairground melded with the uncertainty in the air, a hauntingly sweet melody that echoed the choices ahead. The weight of her decision loomed, casting shadows over her earlier resolve. "Just one call," she murmured, more to herself than him, contemplating the weight of the card nestled in her palm. Before she could ponder further, Lisa approached, her expression a mix of worry and curiosity. "Everything okay?" she asked, glancing between Jenna and Ethan. Jenna felt pulled in two directions, the warmth of her friend and the uncertainty of Ethan. Was it time to face the fire and confront her past? The answer lingered, buzzing in her mind as the fair continued to swirl around them. She stood at a threshold, fear and courage balancing on the tip of her heart. "Maybe I'll need more than a card to decide," she finally said, her voice steady, but filled with unresolved questions. Could she really allow herself to explore this path? And as she looked back at Ethan, his face a mixture of hope and trepidation, Jenna sensed the stakes were higher than she'd ever imagined. Would she take that first step into the uncertain night? Or retreat into safety, letting the moment slip away once more? The tension lingered in the air as Jenna shifted her gaze between Lisa's concerned expression and Ethan's pleading one. The vibrant colors of the fair seemed to blur, their brightness overtaken by the shadows of her thoughts. "Jenna, I didn't mean to hurt you. I realized how wrong I was," Ethan said, his voice steadying as he searched her face for any sign of hope. "He hurt you, Jen. No one should treat you like that," Lisa interjected, her protective instincts flaring. "You're worth so much more than what he made you feel." "Thank you, Lisa," Jenna replied softly but couldn't shake the weight of Ethan's gaze. She felt trapped between the safety of her friend's comfort and the unsettling possibility of reconciling with the boy who caused her so much pain. "I'm not asking you to forget," Ethan pressed, his hands trembling slightly. "I just want a chance to show you I can be better. That I can be the person you need in your life." Jenna closed her eyes for a brief moment, letting the sounds of the fair swirl around her, a distant laughter, the tantalizing smell of popcorn, and the joyous screams from the rides. Each noise reminded her of how little fun had been in her life since that fateful night. "You think you can just say a few words and I'll believe you? You abandoned me when I needed you most. I know I can't just say I'm sorry. Words won't change the past," he admitted. "But I want to show you how serious I am. I want to be there for you. If you give me this chance, you won't regret it." The sincerity in his voice tugged at Jenna's heart, making her long to trust him again. Just beneath that desire, though, lay a prickling fear. What if he hurt her again? What if opening up to him only led to more heartache? "I can't just dive into this, Ethan," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "You can't expect me to let my guard down again just like that." Ethan's face fell, and for a fleeting moment, Jenna saw the boy she once loved vulnerable, scared, and raw. "I'm not rushing you. I'll wait, Jenna. But please just think about it. Just a call. That's all I ask. I miss you." The fair continued to pulse with energy all around them, yet Jenna felt like she was in a bubble. Finally, she held the card tighter, feeling the smooth edges against her fingertips. "Can I have time?" "Of course," he said, nodding earnestly. Lisa stepped closer and wrapped her arm around Jenna, grounding her. "Whenever you're ready, I'll be right here," she whispered, her support unwavering. Jenna took a deep breath, feeling the card press into her palm like a promise. The warmth of Lisa's presence and the weight of Ethan's hopes intertwined, leaving her with a daunting choice. Could she allow herself to take that step, or would she retreat into the familiar confines of her own scars? As the Ferris wheel began to turn slowly, towering high above the chaos, she found herself wishing for clarity, a sign that would illuminate the way forward. But the universe remained silent, pushing her to confront her emotions without guidance. "I'll think about it," she finally replied, her heart heavy yet somehow lighter at the same time. Ethan nodded, the flicker of hope still alive in his eyes. "That's all I ask," he said softly. Jenna turned back to the fair, the dizzying throngs of laughter and light only serving to amplify her internal conflict. As she watched couples enjoying their time together, the joy of the fair felt painfully distant. Would she let herself fall back into old rhythms or forge a new path? And then, like a thunderclap, she realized something buried deep within her, a whisper of courage. It wasn't just about trusting Ethan, it was about trusting herself. As if on cue, the sky darkened, a sudden gust of wind swept through the fair, stirring the excitement and anxiety in the air. Did this signal a change? With every sound around her, Jenna felt the weight of uncertainty swell as yet another possibility flickered in the shadows of her mind. Could she find the strength to reach out to him? What if, instead of reaching for old wounds, she embraced the unknown that lay ahead? The light of the prize booth glowed steadfastly in the distance, reminding her that choices, even the difficult ones, often lead to unexpected rewards. And somewhere in the depths of her heart, a quiet voice continued to beckon her forward into the uncertain night. Would she take that leap of faith, or would she hold back, letting hesitation wrap her in its familiar embrace? The cool breeze swept through the fair, ruffling Jenna's hair and sending a shiver down her spine. The colors around her seemed to pulse with a life of their own, a kaleidoscope of feelings flaring up within her. With every laugh and scream from the rides, every bright light, she felt herself teetering on the edge of a decision. "Hey! Want to try that game?" Lisa pointed at a booth where a group of kids was winning stuffed animals. Jenna hesitated. "I don't really feel like playing. Come on, it'll be fun." "Just a distraction," Lisa insisted, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Jenna couldn't help but smile a little. Lisa always knew how to lift her spirits, even when everything felt heavy. Before she could answer, Ethan, still lingering nearby, piped in, "I'll play too. I mean, if you don't mind my company." He wore a tentative smile, the boy next door charm now tinged with uncertainty. Jenna glanced at Lisa, who shrugged and nodded encouragingly. Slowly, a smile broke across Jenna's face despite the whirlwind of emotions. "Okay, let us give it a shot." As they approached the booth, her heart raced. The game was simple: knock down cans with a ball. The thrill of competition settled over them like a blanket. With each throw, laughter erupted, and for a moment, Jenna felt free. She even succeeded in knocking all the cans down on her first try, joined by Lisa's squeals of excitement. "That's my girl!" Lisa exclaimed, wrapping her arms around Jenna in a celebratory hug. Ethan clapped, awe evident in his expression. "See? You're amazing." The sincerity in his voice made Jenna's heartbeat quicken, though the phantom sting of old wounds lurked just beneath her skin. "All right, your turn," she nudged him, fighting back memories that threatened to cloud over the fun. Ethan stepped up, his posture a mix of confidence and vulnerability. Jenna watched, admiration mingling with lingering apprehension. He took a deep breath, focusing on the cans with a determined look. After a couple of tense moments, he hit 2 down and managed a chuckle as he turned back to them, wiping imaginary sweat from his brow. "Guess I need more practice." "That was great." Lisa cheered, and Jenna felt something inside her shift, its weight loosening just a little. Maybe rekindling that connection with Ethan didn't have to feel so ominous, but then there was silence. An unspoken tension that hung over them, the joy of the game unable to break the surface of deeper issues. Ethan caught her eye, and the memory of his pleading words flooded back, "I'll wait. Just think about it." What was she really thinking? "Hey, do you want a chance to win that giant bear?" Lisa suggested, her instincts as a friend kicking in. "You'll need help, Jenna." Jenna's heart raced. Could this be a new beginning? The prospect felt both thrilling and terrifying. What if moving forward led her back to the old paths of pain? But the image of a future guided not by fear but by hope flashed in her mind. "Sure," Jenna agreed, her voice finding newfound strength. "Let us do it." With every toss and laugh shared, the heaviness in her heart began to fade. Even Ethan, standing beside her, seemed lighter. As the game finished, a small rush of happiness spilled into her chest. Maybe the walls she built to protect herself had become too fortified. Maybe it was time to take that risk, to step cautiously into the light. As they walked away from the booth, Jenna felt the prize booth light catch her eye. Suddenly, her mind filled with a different kind of thrill. Would it be so scary to drop her guard and take that leap of faith? As they strolled past a couple holding hands and laughing, she yearned to experience that again. But did she have the courage to open her heart? "Jenna?" Ethan's voice broke through her thoughts. "Can we talk? Alone?" The invitation sent a bolt of uncertainty through her. Could she really do this? Would this conversation push her backward, or pull her forward into something new. Her pulse quickened as she weighed the choices before her, knowing the conversation might change everything. Was she ready to hear what he really wanted to say, or would it only deepen the scars she was still healing from? Jenna took a deep breath, the night air brushing against her skin like a gentle reminder that life was waiting for her to step forward. "Okay," she said quietly, her resolve bubbling just beneath the surface. "Let us talk." Ethan led her to a quiet corner of the fair, away from the dazzling lights and sounds that had been both joyful and overwhelming. They settled near a bench, the buzz of excitement fading behind them. Jenna's heart raced as the weight of the moment pressed in. Here was a chance to be honest, to fully express herself. He looked at her, his expression serious but tinged with something new, hope. "I've thought about what you said about needing to earn your trust," Ethan began, searching her eyes for signs of embers still flickering. "And I know I messed everything up. I've been working on myself, trying to be someone I would be proud of." Jenna felt the air thicken as she considered his words. Part of her wanted to believe him, wanted to wrap herself in those promises. But another part of her, the one that had grown strong, flickered with doubt. "What does that mean exactly?" she asked, her voice steady yet quivering with vulnerability. "It means I want to be real. I want to be there for you in ways I never was before." He paused, trying to capture her gaze. "I've realized that it's not just about looking good on the outside or spending money on nice things. It's about being kind, respectful, and, most importantly, supportive." Her heart squeezed at his sincerity. "But you say all the right things, but how can I trust you? You hurt me, Ethan." And it wasn't just a careless word. "It shattered my heart," she said, tears welling up, the pain of the past threatening to break free. "I know," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "And I don't expect you to forgive me. But I want to try. I want to prove to you that I am more than that mistake. I've seen what true beauty is, the strength you carry, the way you overcome pain. And it took losing you to see that." Each word felt like a dagger slicing through her resolve, yet strangely, it also felt like a bomb. Jenna took a moment, letting it all wash over her. The laughter of children around them, the scents of popcorn, and cotton candy, they all felt like a backdrop to a silent storm in her heart. "Do you really mean that?" she asked, searching his face. "I'm not the same girl you once knew. I've fought hard to find my value." "I see that," he said, stepping a little closer. "And I admire you. You've become this incredible person who deserves the world. I just hope you'll give me a chance to be part of it." With each passing moment, Jenna's walls felt like they were beginning to fracture. She had worked so hard to build herself back up, yet here he was, asking to be let in again. Her past and present battled within her, each vying for dominance. "What if you slip again?" she said at last, her voice trembling. "Can you promise to stay? Can you show me with actions that you're changed?" "I can," he assured her, eyes wide with sincerity. "It won't happen overnight, but I'm committed to making it right. I want to support you, not just say it but take steps to mirror that in every way." The gravity of his words pressed down on her. "Then I need time," she said, forcing herself to release the tight grip her emotions had on her. "I need to feel this for myself, and that means truly exploring what it might mean to trust you again. It won't be easy." "I understand," Ethan replied, a soft smile breaking through the tension. "I'll be here, waiting as long as it takes." Suddenly, Jenna felt lighter. Hope flickered within her, a spark beginning to illuminate the shadows that had lingered. "Okay," she whispered, the gravity of the moment settling within her. "But understand that it's not going to be smooth. Trust takes time." "I'm ready," he declared, snowballing that initial spark into a flame of possibility. They stood there, two hearts hovering between caution and hope, rekindling a connection long thought extinguished. As they returned to the heart of the fair, surrounded by laughter and joyous voices, Jenna felt like she was stepping into a new chapter, one where she could maintain her strength while exploring the complexities of human relationships. With a final glance back at Ethan, she felt something shift in her chest, a tangible freedom. She had claimed her truth, her confidence, and now she was daring to let someone back in. No longer defined by past hurt, Jenna was ready to write her story, one filled with resilience, hope, and the beauty of being unafraid to embrace the unknown. The vibrant lights glittered like stars above them, a testament to a future waiting to unfold, brightened by the promise of possibility. If you're feeling inspired by Jenna's journey of transformation, you need to subscribe immediately to this channel. This is the moment to show your support. Hit that like button now and help feed the algorithm, so others can be uplifted too. Comment below your thoughts and feelings about this powerful ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to hear this story of resilience and recovery. Your support matters more than you know.